I went to the Lego store to get my hands on a Five Nights at Freddy's Lego set, but there's a slight obstacle. This kind of set does not exist. Lego has never released an official FNAF set. There's no FNAF characters or FNAF builds, unless you're counting the obviously fake Lego scams, which I'm not. So I'm gonna have to build everything from scratch.
You're not gonna be able to do this. Let's just go home.
Bruh.
Today I plan to recreate FNAF in Lego. I've made a couple fidget toys out of Lego, but other than that I've never done anything on this level of complexity. I'm feeling optimistic though. I'm gonna give it my best shot. I pulled out my collection of Lego and started blindly piecing things together. Right away things seemed impossible. Turns out I'm not as experienced as I was hoping. I need instructions, but because Lego has never released a FNAF collection, there's no guideline to really follow. I was starting to lose hope, but then I came across my lifeline. This guy has literally mapped out full-on tutorials. He doesn't make videos anymore, but his legacy lives on. At least now I'll have a better idea of what I'm building. While I'm hard at work, keep your eyes out for these mutilated Lego body parts that I've lovingly scattered throughout this video. Good luck. My first build is Freddy. I'm starting with a plain brown torso. This piece is apparently not so common, but I managed to get my hands on one. As for the legs, I stole them off a primitive Lego villager, a worthy sacrifice. I'm building everything on a minifigure scale, so everything's gonna be teeny tiny. Building the body is the easy part. The head pieces are more of a challenge though. I gathered all the Lego I need. There is like a brown bear Lego head floating around out there somewhere that I could have used for this build, but that would have been too easy. I find pain very satisfying. Plus it would look nothing like Freddy, so instead I'm building an exact replica out of all these Lego pieces. Disclaimer, I didn't have all the pieces I needed for my FNAF dream recreations. The Lego store wasn't very helpful. They do have a whole wall of random Lego pieces, but I need some very specific ones and they just didn't have them. I ended up ordering them online and after a month they showed up in the mail. We're starting from the bottom, now we're here. So the first thing I gave him was a snout. The white studs are meant to be his teeth. It doesn't look like much yet, but it's gonna come together in the end. Have faith. I went with some googly kind of eyes for him. I think that's cute. These Lego pieces are very minuscule, way too tiny for my stubby fingers, so throughout this whole ordeal everything kept falling apart. But I'm persistent, so I persisted. I try to stay strong in the face of adversity.
It's just falling apart.
I made some ears and pushed those on, the force of which caused me to lose the whole top half of the head. I'm stronger than I look. Clearly things aren't going as smoothly as I imagined. The connections aren't the strongest, most stable things. These are very delicate pieces. I'm not really a gentle guy, so I lost all my patience, destroyed everything, and now I'm starting over.
Day 2.
This is how Freddy ended up looking. I think he looks cute, almost worth the trouble I went through to make him. Freddy holds a mic. For that I had 3 options. I could make my own mic, which ends up looking kinda like a telephone pole. That's an option. Second option, I can put him behind one of my mics, play a little hide and seek. But I won't. I have something even better. I have an actual mic Lego accessory. Only the best for Freddy. Anyway, gonna set this work of art aside. Next up is Chica. I already have a yellow minifigure body. Not gonna mess around too much with that. I'm mostly going to focus on building the head. There were a couple weird pieces that I needed for these builds. I didn't have all of them, so I did change a couple things here and there. So yeah, it's possible some features are missing. Maybe half the head is missing, but I wasn't too concerned about that. For now, I was more concerned about Chica's bib. It's supposed to be looking a little more festive. There's some other tiles I could have gotten, some more intricate options, but I went with a nice plain bib. That's personally how I think it looks best, but also it's just what I had on hand. Try not to judge too harshly. Instead, you can judge Chica's adorable little chicken feet.
Oh my god!
Not including Chica's head, this is probably the cutest thing I've ever made. Hit the like button if you agree. Thank you. Of course, Chica wouldn't be complete without her signature cupcake, aka Mr. Cupcake, aka Carl. Drum roll, please. This is Carl. Just gonna snap this onto Chica's claw. A perfect fit. He's supposed to be pink, but I couldn't find a pink cupcake topper, so instead I went with the next best thing. Whitish blue. Works for me. I don't know why the bib kept falling off. That's annoying. Honestly, everything kept falling apart. These things are barely holding it together. They may look impressive at the end, but don't be fooled. One fart in their direction, and they'll be resting in pieces. I then started working on the face.
Oh, my hands are too big.
I'm having so much fun. This is supposed to be her beak. Hopefully that's obvious, because if it's not, then I'm in trouble. The theme for today is googly eyes. If you want more of a creepy kind of look, you can use studs to give the characters more of a blank stare. Personally, that just creeps me out, so I'm leaning towards the cute Sparkle Buddy side today. Please be understanding. I gave her a little helmet that she never actually wears, but it was a necessary step because I need to add her little poof of hair on top to complete her look. Like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the back of the head, she's missing a couple feathers, specifically all of the feathers. I just did the best I could. It's not perfectly rounded or perfectly blocky, but no one's gonna be staring at the back of her head anyways. For the thumbnail, all that matters is the front, and I think so far these are looking pretty good from that specific angle. My favorite build of the day would have to be Foxy. He also has a bit more going on. That's why I'm using like 10 times the pieces to build him. He's a little bit of extra work, but he's worth it. He may be looking a little intimidating right now, but trust me, this one's a keeper. I didn't use regular legs for Foxy. He's got more of an animatronic kind of vibe going on. I then gave him a big bushy tail. It's super cool because it's very mobile, and I like that. It's almost like a fidget toy. Weird, and yet oddly satisfying if I do say so myself. I used a plain red body with plain red arms. Nothing too crazy, except for his pirate hook. He wouldn't be Foxy without that. Now I'm focusing on the head. I'm adding a little helicopter handlebar at the top. That's key. If you don't have that piece, you basically are a lost cause. Foxy might be a little above your skill level. I ripped a couple arms off of some of my minifigures, all for a good cause. Foxy required a couple sacrifices.
Kill me. It's what I want. Kill me. Again. Kill me.
This helps achieve that like hair kind of look, and then these cones are his ears. They just kind of slide right on there. So graceful. I then got to building the mouth. This is the coolest part. Just like the tail, it's also very poseable. You can move it up, you can move it down, left and right if you're feeling adventurous, though I don't recommend it. Foxy's got an eye patch, so I blacked out one of his eyes. These were kind of hard to stick onto the rest of his face. It's not a very sturdy connection. Very unstable. I popped his head on, and here he is in all his poseable glory. You can move his mouth, you can flick his tail, you can flick his ears back and forth. He can even do jumping jacks. There's a lot going on with this one. I don't recommend you try building it. If you really want it, just drop a bid down below and I'll get it to you sooner or later. I'm not done yet.
Why do I regret this?
I've still got a freak of nature left to build. This one's gonna end up looking a little wacky. It might look odd, it might even be a little disturbing. My fault entirely. I have no one but myself to blame. One thing I did accomplish though was finding an all-purple minifig body. It's pretty hard to find these, but with my resources I have at my disposal, I managed to jump through a couple hoops and pull a few strings. This is all for you guys. You can thank me by subscribing. Anyway, then I snapped on a light lavender furry chest for Bonnie. I just realized I forgot to tell you guys I'm working on Bonnie, but that's probably pretty obvious. Bonnie's gonna end up looking like some sort of deformed hillbilly. But yeah, I'll get to that.
Day 3.
Just kill me.
Cute. There's still something missing though. Freddy has his mic, Chica has her cupcake, Foxy has his hook, but Bonnie's looking empty-handed. Can't have that. So I dug up a guitar, an exact replica. I did go the extra mile and made him a little stage. I miscalculated though and made it a little too small. I think it still looks good. It has its charms. It's cozy. So cozy that it can only fit 3 of them at a time. We'll just let Bonnie sit this one out.